Hello guys, nice to see you. If you're looking for a React.js developer course, this is the best course for you. And in this course, we are to learn everything in React.js from scratch. We see that in React, let's first see what is React and how beneficial React is and why should you learn React. React is a JavaScript library used for building user interfaces. In React, we see that there is use of components that can easily save you time. Components help us write reusable, modular, and better organized code. React is one of the fastest growing libraries. We see that it's even more popular these days and it grows at a high speed. React is mostly used for front end. React is commonly used for building interactive web applications, so this makes it so popular. If you're new to React, you should at least have a simple idea about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then it's okay for you to start learning React. Now, as we start, if you're totally new to React, just go ahead and download Node.js to your computer and install it and check the version that you're using. If you have already installed Node.js, just press node-v. It will show you the type, the version that you're using for Node.js. Then let's get started. Yes, let's see how we can make this to-do app. We have to see how to make this to-do app. Once you write something, it will get rendered here. Yeah, this is a very nice to-do app. Let's build this from scratch. We will see that our app will be so nice. Let's make this in React, and in this video expect to learn a lot from this video, because we will move from each step by step and we learn each and everything from scratch. Without wasting time, let's get started. Let's make here an input so that it will be displayed, and we will need a button. Let's call it add. This button, let's call it add. Let's say I hope it's it. Once we write something here, when we click this button, we'd like this text to be rendered here. So let's say once we enter this information, we'd like this information to be targeted. Once we click, it's displayed here, and we make our to-do. So let's say input type, let it be text. Let's say on change, make a callback function, and we say on change. So we will need a use state, const, let's say const task, comma, set task. It will be equals use state
use state will be an empty string. So for that case, we will say this input on change, it will be set state to be set state e dot target dot value. So we need to import here use state. We need to import use state from React. And so for that case, if we are to continue, we see that once we say e.target.value, we need this text that we enter, yeah, to be seen or on the input. So I would like to say also this button, this will be set task. This is set task e.target.value. So this we will say on click. We will say on click to be a function add task, but we don't have this function yet. So we will need to create this function. Function add task. So from that we will also need to say we need to say task list here. Task list set task list. So this task list is something like it's like a wrap where the tasks will be placed. So whenever we add a task, it is added on the task list. So this function add, this button, whenever we click this button add, we would like it to set the task list. So on click we will say set. On click we will say set task list. This will be an R. So we will say that set task list everything in the task list, and you say that also the task, which will be the task. So on top of that we will also on click set task, but it will be an empty string. So from that, but the work is not yet done. So above that we have worked on this button, and once we enter something, this text here that we have entered will be now hard within the input. So on click we need it to be displayed here. So from that we also need we need to say we need to add here a task, which is that to do the task, where the information will be displayed. So we will say task list. So we will say task list uh, task list dot map task list dot map task list dot map task uh, which will give us uh, to return a task here. So let's create here a file called task.js. So within this we will say within this we will need to render this task here. So by the help of props we'll be able to change anything that is displayed within this. So task list dot map task. So it will return the task. It will return the task here. But we also need to import. We also need to import task. We also need to import this task. So from that uh, uh, from that point we will say that let's come to task and say this task here we will accept the task here by use of props. We will accept the task and then here we will have an h1 or maybe let's use h2 and we have function here called task. Now once we come back here to our app, so we will say task we will say task now task will be equals to task the task will be equals to task. For example, once we say that post equal task will be start. If we say that task is start, we see now that once we click this add button, it will add our task as start. We see that once we add, the task will be start. So for that case, we'd like to make it here. Once we enter something and we click, it will be added. So that was an example. So for that case, we say task b equals task dot task. So yeah. Now once we enter, we see that our task is being rendered successfully. So once you enter, the task is rendered here successfully. The styling of this, if you need the styling, just go to your browser and you can type github slash Joseph Kajimo1, then slash simple to do app, something like that. You will get the CSS code. So Here is it. So just come here to this, click source, and here come to app.css, and then here just copy the whole of this. This is the source for the styling. You're free to use your own styling. Just copy it and bring it just direct to your app. Here is the source code, and bring it direct, so your app definitely will have a nice look in here. So that's it.
Today let's look at how we can make a delete button. Once you make your to-do, your task, we want to see how we can delete it. Add a delete button here. Let's get started right away. We are in app.js. Let's come to the task.js. So here, just create a button. Just create a button. You can call it delete button. Just come here and say on, and click delete. Let's say delete task. Yes. So you have to accept it here through props. You have to accept it here through props. Sorry. Yeah. So from that, let's come here to app.js. For the styling of the button, we will say we add a class name here. Class name, we shall say. So we see that so once we enter something here, we can see the delete button here, but we haven't worked at it. Decided to delete something here. So let's work at that. Let's come to, for the styling, just copy this for the styling, something like this. So let's come to app.js. We have to get this delete task. So to accept it here, delete will be equals delete sorry delete task will be equals to delete task. But we have not this function yet, so let's create this function. Let's create this function. Let's create this function delete task. So for the delete task, once we click this button, it's on a list. So once we click it, we want this task to be excluded from the list. So we'll say val new list is equal to, we have the task list, will be equals to this task list, will be equals to task list. So from that, you have to say, you have to come here and say new list. New list will be new list dot splice. You have to use this splice.
to help us in the process of deleting. So new list dot splice dot splice index. So you have to accept here the index here, and we also come here. Let's say new list dot splice index comma 1, something like this. So you have to say set task. You have to say here set task. I have to set task list. You have to set task list to this new list. I have to set the task list to be the new list. It is an array. So after that we also need to add the index here. Index will be equals index. So for that we also need to add this here index task.map task and also the index. So once we come back here and once we click, we see that yeah, something is happening. So yeah, you exclude whatever you don't need. Let me say study, yeah, leisure, and you add co, something like that. Now go home. Yeah, you can exclude whatever you don't need. Yeah, that's it. I'm happy to see you back. Today's video would like to see how we can implement our tasks by adding an edit button. And in case you have created a project like a to-do, you can just edit your work. So let's say it's a to-do. You can just so to edit, you can just implement it like that. So let's get started. So you can edit your work, something like that. Yeah, let's get started right away. Within your project, just come to your project here. In other words, you have already made your project. Just come. We see that what we last made is a delete button. So for that case, we just need to add an edit button. Just come exactly here where there is this delete button. Just copy this line and paste. So let's just edit some few things and edit. This is task.id, which is task list.map task. This task, it has an id, so it's task.id. So for the class, it will be edit button, and this will be edit. So if you'd like to see how to make a to-do list application, you'll check down in the description. For that case,
after you have implemented, we have added this line, it will be an edit. So according to the way you made your work, we'll just come here and add a line, const edit, const edit, const edit id, comma, set edit id, where there is use state equals use state should be 0. So from that you should have use state imported from React. Once we come back to the edit button, it should have a styling of this kind, edit. You can feel free to copy. So once we come back for the input, if you'd like, it will be like that. So as we come back, let's work at this. Copy this handle edit, and we should create a const handle edit, or else we can easily say function handle edit. So this is where we can get started. Function handle edit in bracket id. From that, let's say const edit task, will be equals to this task list. You have the task list where the tasks are to be set. So from that, this will be the ID for the edit button, edit ID. We have to say edit task will be equals to task list, dot find, let's say I, dot find I. We shall now say I dot id will be equals id. That's the first step for us to make, and from that we can, did we start our app yet? Yes. Just run, in other words, you're using npm, just run npm start. If you're using yarn, I hope you already started the project, just adding the edit button. And we start our project here to see. So from that, we'll set task. We will set task. Edit. We will set task edit task dot edit task dot task. We have to set task. If you use to do, you have to set to do, edit to do dot to do, edit to do dot to do. So we set task at task dot task. So from that, I can just go ahead and try to see within our app. And so once you try to add something, yes, and try to edit, you can see that our app is doing something good now. you see that once you click this, this is brought back here. Once you click this, it's brought back to the input. So from that, you'd like to see once you click this again, it should update this. Once you click and edit something, it should be updated here. So from that, we have to, once we come back, we have to set this set edit ID. We have to set edit ID this ID. So from that, let's come to the submit area. When you submit this button and add another line, so if edit ID if edit ID, just say copy this line, const add task equals task list, copy this, and then you can implement it and say i.id will be equals to edit ID, and then from that I will say const updated task, tasks will be equals to task list dot map t. Let's set it. Now from that we will say if t.id equals edit task dot id, and now we'll need to set that t will be equals to, for the id will be t.id, and then say comma task, or else id will be t.id, this should be within this, or else id will be t.id, and now task will be t.task. So from there we have to set task list. You have to set task list updated tasks. So from that we should then we should now set edit ID to 0. Otherwise you can return. So let's try to see. So once you try to click again here and you edit, let's see that we are seeing something implemented. Hope that is it. Yes,
Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like the video in case you have got something. See you in the next video.